In the previous lectures, we have seen different parameters of frequency modulated signal and the generation methods of FM signal. The next important topic in continuation is your FM detectors, or we are going to study about the different methods of demodulation that are used for detecting the message signal out of the frequency modulated signal. Okay, first of all, let us have a look at the basic idea of the detectors. What kind of detectors are required in case of FM signals, right? The basic idea of FM detectors is that for what we do is we design a circuit that implements first FM to AM conversion. Further, this we try to convert the FM signal to AM signal, and then we apply some kind of AM demodulators. In particular, we can say we apply envelope detector, because that is the simplest of all the detectors to get the message signal. Okay, so this is the basic process that we follow in case of FM detector. We first try to convert FM into AM, then we pass the AM signal through the AM demodulator, or you can say the envelope detector in particular, and then we get the message signal. Okay, let us have a look at the mathematics behind it. We know the information in FM signal is contained in what? The instantaneous frequency. The information in FM signal is contained in the instantaneous frequency, that is omega I, which is equal to omega c plus kf into mt. Right, omega c is the carrier frequency, kf is the frequency sensitivity, mt is your message signal. So according to the message signal, the carrier frequency is varied, and that is your instantaneous frequency, and the information is contained in this instantaneous frequency. Thus, it is wise to use, you can say, a frequency selective network over this FM band, right? That would yield an output proportional to the instantaneous frequency. Okay. Thus, we can say that the FM demodulators are implemented by generating, you can say, an AM signal whose amplitude is proportional to the instantaneous frequency of FM signal. We know the standard expression for the FM signal, let's say XFM T, it is A cos, amplitude remains same, the frequency is varied, that is omega ct plus kf into integration of m tau d tau ranging from minus infinity to t. This is the standard expression for an FM signal, right? Now, in the case of demodulators, the aim is to convert this into an AM signal, and then AM to AM demodulators, and finally we get the message signal. Alright. Now there are many type of circuits available which are used for FM to AM conversion. For FM to AM conversion, a lot of circuits are available. One such circuit, one very simple circuit is a differentiator. differentiator is one of the simplest circuit that may be used to convert FM into AM signal. Let us see how. This is the standard expression. Okay, equation number 1. If the signal is applied to a differentiator, this x of fmt, if it is applied to a differentiator, what would be the output? So dx fmt upon dt would be equal to your derivative of this, right? A cos omega ct plus kf into integration of this m tau d tau, right? Now if you simplify this integral, differentiator, so this becomes A into omega c plus kf into mt into sine of omega ct plus kf integral m tau d tau to t, right? This will be the signal, the differentiated signal. Alright. So now if you carefully analyze this signal, it is both amplitude and frequency modulated. This signal is both amplitude and frequency modulated, isn't it? See, you can see the amplitude is getting varied. This A is getting varied in accordance to the message signal. Hence, we can clearly say it is an amplitude modulated signal. And similarly, the frequency is getting varied in accordance to the message signal. So this signal is nothing but both combination of amplitude and the frequency modulation, right? And if you try to plot this signal, since it is both amplitude and frequency modulated, it would be something like this. We have to show the amplitude variations as well as the frequency variations. Right? So this is your the differentiated signal, which has both amplitude variations as well as the frequency variations. Right? And it is right. And another important observation from this is that this is the envelope of the signal, A times omega c plus kf into mt. So what we do is, the basic idea was that we have FM signal with us. We pass it through a differentiator and then further we pass it through a envelope detector, right, to get back your message signal, right? So we after this differentiation part, we can see that this is the envelope of the signal, right? So the envelope of this wave is A times omega c plus kf into mt. This is the envelope, right? So if we pass this differentiated signal whose envelope is this through an envelope detector, so this envelope will be detected. Now if this A is constant, omega c is carrier frequency constant, kf is constant, we can easily get mt out of this signal. So the expected signal out of this envelope detection is mt signal, since all the other components are constant in nature. Now let us have allocate the different types of frequency demodulators that are available to us, and which are practically used frequency demodulators. We know the basic idea of frequency demodulation, how we are going to demodulate an FM signal. We first convert it into an AM signal, okay, and then further we pass it through an AM demodulator to get the message signal back. So now, this is the basic idea. First is FM to AM conversion. Then next we have is AM demodulator and this is the output signal, which should be the message signal, right? This is your AM signal, this is your FM signal as input. Okay, so we can say a simple tuned circuit. This circuit can be a tuned circuit. A simple tuned circuit followed by an AM demodulator, or you can say envelope detector, can serve as FM demodulator. And the most importantly, the rising half, if you look at this is a tuned circuit. This FM to AM converter is basically a tuned circuit, and the rising half of the frequency characteristic of this tuned circuit is used in this method. So if we have a look at the frequency characteristic of this tuned circuit, this is the frequency characteristic of tuned circuit. Okay, so it is something like this, depending on the type of circuit we are using. Let's say this is your f of c. So the rising half, this is the rising half, right? It will be used because this portion, you can say, is linear in nature. Only this portion is linear in nature. So within this linear region, we can easily convert the FM signal into amplitude variations in the linear region only, because that will be linearly dependent, right? The output of this signal, or the output voltage of this circuit, will be linearly dependent on the input frequency. So we can make use of only this region. So the rising half of the frequency characteristics of this tuned circuit will be used in this region. You can see that in this region the frequency characteristic is approximately linear. Okay, and since this operation it is on the slope of the characteristic, hence this method is known as slope detection. It is on the slope of the you can say the frequency characteristic, right? So this is known as slope detection. Since this detection process is taking place on the slope of this frequency characteristic, right? Now you can see that in this type of detection method, the linear region is in a very short duration of this frequency characteristic, right? So that limits the working of this detection demodulator, right? FM demodulator. Now, to limit, you can say, to obtain the linear characteristic over a wider range of frequencies, to get linear characteristic over a wider range of frequencies, usually two circuit tuned at different frequencies are used. What we do is, because we know that the method is okay, but the linear region is very limited, so that will limit the region of operation of this circuit, right? So now to get the linear characteristic over a wider range of frequency, what we do is we use two tuned circuits at frequencies f1 and you can say f2, connected in a configuration this type of circuit is known as balanced discriminator. Since we are going to use two tuned circuits which are connected in such a balanced configuration, such that the linear characteristic, the linear region in the characteristic is much wider. right? So such a circuit is known as balanced discriminator. So if we have a look at it graphically, we have two different circuits having different frequency characteristics, and they are tuned at different frequencies f1 and f2. So this would be you can say, the frequency characteristic of the first circuit, which is tuned at f1, and this is the linear region, right? Similarly, we have another circuit which is tuned at f2. Let us plot both the frequency characteristic in one graph. That will give us a better idea. So one is tuned at f2, another one is tuned at f1, and they have different linear characteristics. Okay, the linear characteristic of this is in this region, this one is in this region, right? So what we do is, this is your h of f. If we find out, we connect these two circuits in such a configuration that the resultant characteristic h of f is equal to h1f minus h2f. Okay, h1f minus h2f. So we get something like this. This is one characteristic, and this one would be the other, which is the negative one. Okay, so if we look at the overall overall characteristic of it, it will be something like this. Something like this. Okay, so clearly you can see the linear region in this was this much. Similarly, in this one it was this much. But the overall linear region, when we implement it in a balanced kind of a configuration, is this much. This is the overall linear region. So clearly, the region in which the frequency characteristic is linear is now over a wider range of frequency. Thus, it expands the working of the demodulator circuit. So such kind of a demodulator is known as balanced demodulator. Another type of demodulator is your ratio detector. In case of, you can say, ratio detector, it gives even a better result because it gives better protection against carrier amplitude variation. It provides, you can say, it provides better protection against carrier amplitude variation. The meaning of this carrier amplitude variation is that in case of frequency modulation, the instantaneous frequency varies in accordance to the message signal, and the amplitude of carrier remains constant ideally. Okay, but if you have a look at the resultant of the FM signal, there are slight variations in the amplitude as well, which are kind of a distortion for, you can say, the demodulator circuit. This type of ratio detector, it provides better protection against those minor carrier amplitude variations. Okay, this is the benefit of ratio detector. We'll study about all these detectors in detail. And the next type of detector used is phase locked loop. Locked loop, known as PLL. It is the most widely used FM demodulator because of its low cost and superior performance, especially also in the presence of noise. This method is widely used method amongst all. Low cost and superior performance. Okay, so these are the different types of FM detectors. The first one was your very simple slope detector. Then we have balanced slope detector, which also known as balanced discriminator. Then we have ratio detector, and then PLL. Alright. Now let us have a look at all these kind of detectors one by one. Firstly, we'll have a look at the slope detector. Okay, I will first draw down the circuit diagram for this kind of a detector. See, this is the detector circuit. We provide FM input at this point, and we have a tuned circuit first. This is your tuned circuit, and then we have a envelope detector. We can clearly have we can divide the circuit into two parts, that is the tuned circuit and the envelope detector part. You can clearly remember this envelope detector part, right? And this is the output signal. Alright, and if we have a look at the, you can say, this frequency characteristic of this tuned circuit, let us draw that also. Right, let's say this is your FC, and this is your entire linear region where this circuit will be operational. FC is the resonant frequency of this tuned circuit. So now coming to the operational part of it, the tuned circuit LA, consisting of this inductor LA and CA, it produces an output that is proportional to the input frequency of the FM signal, right? So we can say that the tuned circuit consisting of LA and CA produces an output voltage that is proportional to input frequency. That is the first part, right? Now at the resonant frequency of this tuned circuit FC, the maximum output voltage occurs. Second part is at the resonant frequency FC of this tuned circuit, maximum output voltage occurs. Okay, now third step in this circuit would be the output increases or decreases. The output voltage, it decreases or increases proportionately with respect to the input frequency deviation. Now see, this at the input we have FM signal, right? There will be a frequency deviation in this signal, right? So at the resonant frequency, we can say that at the resonant frequency FC, at this point the voltage is maximum. Okay, we have V0 here, which is maximum voltage. Now as the frequency of the input signal increases or decreases, accordingly the output voltage will change. Okay, so let's say if the frequency increases by delta F, so this is the frequency deviation, or frequency decreases by delta F, accordingly the output voltage will change. Okay, The simple concept is this: at FC we have the resonant frequency. So if the input frequency increases by a frequency deviation, okay, then the output voltage will increase. Okay, and if the frequency decreases by frequency deviation in this direction, then the output voltage will decrease. Right? So we can say that the frequency variation are now mapped to the amplitude variation. Frequency variation is mapped to amplitude variation. If frequency variation, if the frequency increases, if frequency increases by delta f, frequency, which frequency? FC frequency, then output voltage increases, and if frequency decreases by delta f, then you can say the output voltage decreases. This is the simple concept. Now further, this amplitude variation is applied to the envelope detector. This is applied to where? The envelope detector. And the output is your message signal. Now the drawback of such a detector is that if you look at the frequency characteristic, the detector has most non-linear voltage frequency characteristic. This is the reason it is very less frequently used. The linear region is very less. This is the reason it is used very less frequently, right? So this was the first type of the detector, that is the slope detector, where we have a tuned circuit followed by an envelope detector. The purpose of tuned circuit is to map the frequency variation in the input signal to the amplitude variation. Amplitude or variation is further given as input to envelope detector, which gives output further as your message signal, because that is the function of envelope detector. It detects the envelope of the AM signal, right? Okay, we'll have a look at the other type of FM demodulators in the next lecture. Thank you.